Hi everyone. Okay, I'm on a video roll lately. Woo woo. So I'm back to my mushroom journal, and I went through my my boxes, and I actually found this. This was a free printable. I don't remember. I think I was on Pinterest. And I don't really remember. It might have been by Kate. Creation by Kate, something like that. Anyway, so I printed that because I'm going to be using it to decorate some things. But as I was going through, and I have all this great stuff, I have all this great ephemera, but I didn't have pockets. I didn't have tuck spots, tags, things I could put extra journaling spots in. So I thought I would bring you along and kind of show you what I did. All of these ideas come from Pam at the Paper Outpost. She has a video playlist, and it's all about using up book pages. It's not all pockets, but it is how to use up book pages, because once you rip basically the innards out of these pages or these books, you have all of this book pages left. And they don't have to go to waste because they can become pockets and tuck spots. So we'll just start out with the easiest. I also dug out my music paper. So I wanted to make a few little belly bands that I can put in the books. And I don't necessarily need every signature to look exactly the same, but I do like to add and incorporate things that on each page that are the same but different, if that makes any sense. So maybe here where I have this flip out page, I might put this belly band, and in there then I would start to tuck some other little papers and little journaling things. That way if they wanted to flip this out to journal, they can just take that stuff out. I might do that. I think that's going to be cute, so I'm going to leave that right there. Well, I'll take it out because I want to show you. So basically I just took my tear ruler. You can use any ruler. You can use your hands. You can use your metal ruler. I have a metal ruler to tear. This one, it works pretty good. It's got a nice little point, you know, kind of a sharper edge there. But you would just take this to rip your papers. And I'm just going to grab one real quick. Well, let me get through the papers first, and then I'll show you. So I'm working on some belly bands. I'm working on some little pockets that you can see I have stitched with my sewing machine. So I did a bunch of them, and then I sort of sorted them out a little bit so that I could use the same color in stitching, and I didn't have to continually change my thread. I could leave it all the same, but I do like the different looks of the threads, and I always pick the colors that I like. Now this one, if you don't have a sewing machine, I just stitched it with a marker. I just gave it that stitched effect. And this was actually something that came out of the Reader's Digest book as well, so I started to embellish that. And let me show you how you would use this one, because I think I have one done in the book. So this, you would basically decorate, put in the book. God, I just came across it. And then it looks like it's an envelope, but it's really a pocket. So perhaps you would have just some more journaling paper. I might take my other coffee dyed or some sort of other lined paper, and then this just becomes your pocket. And then you can stuff a few things in there, and then there's a journaling behind it, journaling in the pockets. Plus I'll take some of the tags from the actual cutouts that I made, that I did, and then I'll start, you know, stuffing it with that kind of stuff too. But that's for a later video. When I get ready to stuff the video, or stuff the book with everything else, maybe I'll do another one that shows all the stuff I'm putting in it. So that's sort of what that is for. And if you were to use this one, this is a double pocket, so now you can glue that to your page, and you would glue 3 sides. then you would have two different pockets to put things in, tickets, tags, journaling spots. So this is what I needed because I didn't have any, but all of these are going to be decorated too. So that's that one. And then I made some corner pockets. So you can use dictionary pages, you can use book pages. Be careful of the books that you're using. I use Reader's Digest, which are usually pretty good. Just be conscious of that. And then I made them in different directions. So again, it would go in the corner, it would be glued in here, and then again you have your tuck spot. Another tiny pocket could be added here, another smaller triangle could be added here as well, and then you have another little tag. So there's your corner pockets. And then of course if you used the ones that you did this way, you have a tuck from this way. And when you start filling your book, I would use a corner tuck on this side of this page, and you could use the other one, but I just think it's easier access. But if I was going to put the tuck spot on this side, then of course I'd use this one, and that way you'd be able to pull your papers out a lot easier. So I've used music pages, I've used dictionary pages, I've used Reader Digest pages. You can use just about anything. If you have magazines, yeah, you can use just about anything. So let me get those out of the way. And then I did all those. So these were a little bit different. These had another little angle, you know, just for looks. So again, I would glue 3 sides. I would leave this open to tuck in here and then tuck in here. And then, so I've done a few of those. Some of them I just did single. I didn't do the fold. So there's different ways that you can do it. And once you sit down and kind of just start playing with the paper and fooling around with the paper, you sort of get used to it. So these are the ones I'm working on right now. And I'm working on some 2-slot and some 3. And actually, I'll put it this way. Before I've stitched them, I've inked the top. And then I just glued a little bit, which I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to show you this one. And perhaps this one. So here's another one, and it has 3. Now if you look on the back, you're going to see that this just goes straight through to the bottom. That's not a big deal, because again, when I glue my page or my pocket, I'm going to glue here, here, and here. So a longer item may fit here all the way down to the bottom. It's sort of an illusion. You know, you don't have to cut your pocket off so short. Now maybe even longer one is going to fit here, and I would get something longer, and then another one would fit here. So you could leave one side open where you can do this, but I'm going to glue all 3 sides, and then I'll have a 3 pocket. So just some fun, easy book, using up your book pages. So I'm going to grab a couple sheets, and I'm looking to make sure, I'm doing this before I'm cutting everything down. You can see I've cut down the sides. So I'm just going to grab some book pages, and I'm going to, let me see, how do I want to do this? I want this to be up, over, I might want to do this. Because I want, okay, so this, I want this edge to be my edge that is this part of the pocket. So I'm just going to, basically I find a side that I like. If I'm looking at it, I know the bottom is sort of what I want to showcase, and I'm just going to fold it sort of in back, and I'm not being too particular. And then this is going to be the start of one of my pockets. And I just go through and fold a bunch of them. Okay, I just fold a bunch of them, and let's just do a three-tiered pocket. So I'm kind of looking at the page, and this is going to be what's going to be showing, and so I'm just turning it and folding it back on itself. Now you can just cut the pages out and use one page. That's fine. I like it a little bit thicker, so I just I like the thickness of the paper a little bit better, but sometimes cardstock is too thick. This just seems to be the right thickness. Now I have had music paper that has been a lot thicker that I might just use. Like, this is a thicker music paper. I'm not gonna back that. I'm just gonna use that. So then I just get my glue stick, and I don't really care about these edges because those are gonna be cut off. I'm not even gonna use them. And then I just kind of stick it down, and I didn't put a whole bunch on there because when I take this to my sewing machine and sew around, that's really what is going to attach it. I'm just doing this for the cutting purpose. You don't even have to glue it if you don't want to, but I just find it stays in place a little bit better for me. Also, I'm not a sewer except on paper. I do a few things. I can almost do a straight hem now. And that's what I like about like sewing on paper. Look at, like, I can be all wonky and nobody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish gluing these down. And oh, we're getting some sun again today. Yay! Oh, I love it when the sun comes out. 41 days till we spring ahead. I know people think I'm crazy, but I just gotta know. I've gotta know what's coming. So how did we, yep. So I'm going to bring my papers back over. I just have them lightly glued, and I'm going to, now you can do all your cutting ahead of time if you want, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and basically just glue my sides down. And I do like them somewhat even. So I'm just going to line this up, and I'm gonna grab my glue. Now this, I would use my art glitter glue. So since these are coming off, these sides are coming off, I need to glue close to the letters, okay? And these are all usually just about the same size. So I need to glue close to the letters because once I rip that off, you're just not gonna have your glue there anymore. So I'm just gonna turn that around. I'm gonna glue that. And I don't need it to be like, you know, super glued in. Oh, and here's the thing. So I forgot to ink my edges. That's always, I do forget that sometimes. So you're gonna want to ink your edges. And this one I can pull up just enough. And you don't have to go all around because you're gonna be cutting the ends off, but your tops you need to get done before you do your gluing down. If you want them inked, you don't have to have them inked. But it does set off from one paper to the other. So they kind of know that there's a second pocket there. And then we do that one real quick. And then I'll do all the others later. So a lot of times I'll just do this in mass making. I'll do it in a process. And then I'll do all my papers, I'll do all my inking, I'll do all my gluing, and then I go to the sewing machine and do my sewing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue that down. And like I said, you can do this with any paper, if you have magazines, you can do it with newspaper, because you're going to be doing a lot of covering anyway. Well, if you decorate, you're going to be covering it up anyway. So, but I do make sure that there's not bad words and stuff. So we have that done, and then I'll show you a couple ways I do it. or you can do it, but I'm going to show you the way I do it. So you can just take your scissors and cut straight down, and it comes out pretty good. But when I'm mass making them, a lot of times I'll get my rotary cutter, and I have my extra little mat here that I cut on. I get my quilting ruler, because this is where I would use a quilting ruler, otherwise I would not use this for most things. And then, of course, and usually I can get it in the first pass, but since I'm sitting down, it's a little bit more difficult because I don't have the pressure that I need. So there you go. You have your envelope, and then I usually don't like all the white space on the bottom. And if you're gonna sew around it, you know, if I was just gonna put it in the book like this, I might just go ahead and leave that bottom, maybe decorate it. But if I'm gonna sew around it, you have to decide, do I wanna leave that? Do I want to decorate the bottom, then sew around it? So I don't think there's any wrong way, but I do like to trim off that little bit of a bottom, and then I would ink up my edges, and then I would take it to the sewing machine. So that way I'm just gonna have my pockets that go all the way through. So there's one, and I think I did do a sewn. So here's what it looks like sewn. In fact, here's just a double one. You can do as many as you want for the length of your page, but since this is a really good, I found is a really good length. Now for your belly band, which could be this way or this way, however you want to do it, super simple. For me, I like a little lip on the top or side, whichever way my belly band is going into the book, because I like to glue these down, and then when I glue them to the page, my little flaps, I just feel like it gives me a little bit more room to stuff some things in there. And I have, gosh, I have 3 sheets here, so I'm just gonna fold those back out and take a ruler. Let's just take the metal ruler, and then let's see, I'm gonna want this belly. You just figure out how wide you want your belly band. Rip. And let's see, let's make it about, that looks good. No measuring. Just a fun day. Ripping and gluing. And there you go. And then I've done several sheets, but before I pull them apart, what I would do, this part that's going to get glued down, I'm going to angle those so you don't see them when you put them inside the book. Really got to get these scissors cleaned. They're still goopy from when I was cutting. And then you have this. Now this paper is a little bit thin. I actually, before I did the cutting, I might have just glued that together, and actually this, I would just maybe do this, and I might sew around this too. You can sew around it, you can just leave it as it is, but I'm just gonna get that just tacked down so when I go to take it to my sewing machine, it's not shifting on me. So yeah, it's that simple. And I'm leave these flaps up. I'm just gonna sew here, 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 and then when I go to put it in my book, I'll bend those flaps back. And I suppose you could actually sew your flaps down. Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. That you could sew your flaps down. So anyway, hope you found that fun. I'm getting all this ready to work on my mushroom journal. So maybe I will take you along and show you how to do some more pockets. In the meantime, check out Pam the Paper Outpost and go to her playlist that says Using Up Book Pages. Bye.